My mom is the reason my brother is dead. My brother would have been 33 this year. He passed May 10, 2023. He was mentally disabled and couldn't properly care for himself, but he wasn't physically disabled. I left home in 2011 to move to another state to be closer to my dad. My mother and I never got along, and she said I was the reason for my dad leaving her, even though she was the one who filed for divorce. I used to be able to keep in touch with my brother until a few years ago. She told my dad and I that she couldn't care for him anymore and to pick him up. The weekend we were going to pick him up, she told us that if we tried to have any contact with him, that she would put him in a home and we would never be able to see him again. We had asked him several times before all this if he would come live with us, but he refused. He said he needed to take care of Mom. Even with his disability, we didn't want to force him and we let him make decisions for himself. We said okay and kept in touch with him. But because of our mother, my dad and I didn't get to see him for 10 years. I got a call from someone I hadn't spoken to in over 10 years on May 12 saying I needed to call the police where they lived because they were wanting to talk to me about my brother's death. I had no idea he was gone. So I frantically called everyone trying to find the police department that wanted to speak to me. They confirmed he was gone and said they have a state investigator on his case. To cut the story short, and because it's still an open case, my mother is suspected of murder, but there was a suicide note that they don't feel he wrote, and after they sent it to me, it doesn't look like he wrote it either. My mother kept my brother from everyone. He couldn't have internet to make friends, shut his phone off, kept him from making friends or seeing anyone. My brother and I were in and out of foster care growing up, so I can understand being protective, but I can't understand why he wasn't allowed to have friends or talk to anyone. He wasn't even allowed to talk to me. Now, after several months has gone by and we still don't have answers, I'm not sure if I want to know what happened. If he did take his life, I don't know what I would do. But if she did take his life from him, I wouldn't even know what to feel. He was the most innocent soul, and mentally, I don't know how he could have thought of suicide when he can't process what death really is because of his disabilities. But now she is telling the investigator a bunch of lies about him, saying he was always bedridden and couldn't walk since birth and that he was nonverbal, which is all false. He loved to run and talked a lot and read and draw. She's lied about everything my entire life, and now she's lying about him even when he's gone.